Title: Moses and the Miraculous Journey, the Tale of 10 Promises. Chapter 1: The Land of Pyramids and Pharaohs. In a time long ago, Egypt was the center of the world, a place of grandeur and magnificence. The Nile River snaked its way across the land, making the soil fertile and giving life to all. Here, the powerful pharaohs ruled, their majesty displayed in the vast pyramids they constructed. Yet, amidst these colossal structures and beneath the shadow of the Sphinx, a different story unfolded. The Hebrews, a resilient and spiritual group, were bound in chains, forced to work day in and day out. Their sweat and tears mixed with the mud bricks they fashioned. They longed for freedom, often singing songs of their ancestral homeland, a place flowing with milk and honey. Their plight was heartbreaking, a stark contrast to the splendors their labor produced. Chapter 2: Moses, the prince who was different. Within the heart of the pharaoh's palace, where golden walls glistened and exotic gardens bloomed, Moses, an adopted prince, led a life of luxury. He was educated by the finest tutors and took part in royal ceremonies. Yet, he often gazed upon the Hebrew slaves from his balcony, feeling an inexplicable connection. One fateful day, witnessing an Egyptian taskmaster's cruelty, he defended a Hebrew slave. This act changed his life. Fearing the pharaoh's wrath, Moses fled into the desert. Here, he became a humble shepherd, a far cry from his princely life. The desert was also where his destiny awaited. Living among the Midianites, he learned of humility, love, and patience. He married and started a family. Yet, deep inside, a fire for justice and freedom still burned. He wasn't aware that soon, this inner fire would manifest in the form of a burning bush, setting him on a path that would change the course of history. As he transitioned into the next chapters, we'll see how a single individual, driven by purpose and guided by a higher power, can challenge empires and bring hope to the oppressed. Moses' tale teaches us that no matter where we come from, or the adversities we face, we all possess the potential for greatness when guided by love, justice, and faith. Chapter 3: The Call from the Burning Bush. The sun was blazing in the Sinai desert, and the air shimmered with heat. Moses, now a seasoned shepherd, led his flock in search of pasture. Amidst the golden domes, he stumbled upon a peculiar sight: a bush consumed by flames, yet not burning up. Intrigued, he drew closer. From within the fire, a voice resonated. "Moses, Moses!" Startled, he responded, "Here I am." Voice, both authoritative and compassionate, identified itself as the God of his ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Moses was commanded to remove his sandals, for he stood on holy ground. God relayed the pain and cries of the Hebrews in Egypt. Moses was chosen to lead them out of bondage and into the promised land. The task seemed insurmountable. How could he, a mere shepherd, confront Pharaoh and free an entire people? But God assured him, "I will be with you." Chapter 4: Plagues and the Hardened Heart. Moses, with his brother Aaron, stood before Pharaoh, demanding, "Let my people go." Pharaoh's pride and arrogance were unmoved. To convince him, God sent plague upon Egypt. Water turned to blood, frogs covered the land, and darkness enveloped the realm. Yet, with each calamity, Pharaoh's heart hardened. A final, most heart-wrenching plague was the death of every firstborn Egyptian. Moses instructed the Hebrews to mark their doorposts with lamb's blood as protection. That night, cries of anguish echoed throughout Egypt. Pharaoh, devastated and defeated, finally relented. Chapter 5: The Great Escape. With Pharaoh's reluctant blessing, the Hebrews hastily packed their belongings, not even allowing their bread to rise, resulting in what we know today as matzah. They began their arduous journey, guided by a pillar of cloud by day, and a pillar of fire by night. But as they neared the Red Sea, they heard the thundering of hooves and saw a cloud of dust on the horizon. Pharaoh had changed his mind and sent his army to recapture them. Panic swept through the Hebrews. Were they to perish after getting so close to freedom? Moses, with unyielding faith, raised his staff. Before their awestruck eyes, the waters of the Red Sea parted, creating a pathway. The Hebrews crossed safely, but as Pharaoh's army pursued, the waters roared back, swallowing the oppressors. Chapter 6: The Mountains Revelation. Journeying further, the Hebrews camped at the foot of Mount Sinai. Moses was called to its peak, where for 40 days and nights he communed with God. The Israelites, during his absence, grew restless and in their folly created a golden calf to worship. Their short-lived revelry was shattered upon Moses' descent, bearing 2 stone tablets inscribed by the hand of God. These 10 commandments became the moral compass for not just the Hebrews, but for countless generations across various civilizations. From honor your father and mother to you shall not steal, these principles encourage us to live harmoniously, promoting peace, trust, and kindness. By internalizing these lessons, we understand the value of perseverance, the importance of faith during trying times, and the universal ethics that guide humanity towards a harmonious coexistence. The tales of the Hebrews are not just historical accounts, but a testament to human spirit, resilience, and the quest for a higher purpose. Chapter 7: A Desert Disciplined. Jubilation of the Red Sea's parting was still fresh, but as days turned into weeks, the vast Sinai desert became a crucible of faith. Food was scarce, and the blistering heat drained their spirits. The Hebrews lamented, "Were there no grave in Egypt, that we must die in this wilderness?" In their time of despair, God sent manna, a heavenly food, which appeared on the desert floor each morning. Despite its miraculous appearance, it came with its own lessons. Gather only what you need for a day, trust that more will come tomorrow. And no gathering on the Sabbath. Many tried hoarding, but found their stash rotting the very next day. It was a lesson in trust and contentment. Chapter 8: The Wellspring of Patience. Water, the elixir of the desert, became another challenge. With their supplies dwindling, they confronted Moses, their patience running thin. Instead of reproaching them, Moses turned to God, seeking guidance. He was instructed to strike a certain rock. Skepticism turned to wonder as fresh water gushed out, quenching the thirst of hundreds of thousands. Yet, these miracles came with underlying messages. The water was not just a relief, but a lesson on patience and the belief that solutions often lie just beyond the horizon of despair. By constantly challenging Moses and then witnessing the solutions he brought forth, the Hebrews were learning the invaluable lesson of persistent faith. These desert tales remind us that adversities are but opportunities in disguise, pushing us to dig deeper, trust more, and forge a connection with the divine, ensuring our spiritual growth amidst worldly challenges. Chapter 9: The Mountain's Revelation. As the Hebrew journeyed, a particular mountain loomed in the distance, wreathed in clouds and mystery. Mount Sinai. This mountain was to be the theater of one of the most pivotal moments in their history. Moses was summoned to its peak, and the people were told to consecrate themselves for what was to come. For 40 days and nights, Moses stayed on the mountain, while thunder roared and lightning crackled. The Hebrews at the base watched in awe and trepidation. The mountain itself seemed alive, resonating with the voice of the Almighty. When Moses finally descended, his face radiated an ethereal glow, testament to his communion with the divine. He bore with him 2 tablets engraved by God's own hand. The 10 Commandments, a moral compass, were delivered. Chapter 10: A Covenant Sealed. However, while Moses was on the mountain in his absence, many Hebrews, overcome by fear and uncertainty, reverted to their old ways. They constructed a golden calf, a remnant of the Egyptian gods, and began to worship it. Returning to this scene, Moses' heart sank. The freshly received commandments, one of which clearly stated not to worship idols, were already being broken. In his despair and anger, Moses smashed the tablets. It was a moment of reckoning. The Hebrews had to confront their weaknesses and inconsistencies. Moses interceded on their behalf, and after much pleading, God had agreed to renew his covenant. A repentant nation watched as Moses, once again, ascended the mountain and returned with a new set of tablets. This event serves as a powerful reminder of human frailty, but also of the possibilities of redemption. Even after witnessing miracles, people can falter, but with genuine remorse and guidance, they can rebuild their covenant with God. The tales of the Hebrews' journey and the 10 Commandments go beyond mere historical or religious significance. They underscore universal themes of faith, patience, and the constant human struggle between doubt and belief, despair and hope. They teach us that even in our weakest moments, there's always a path to redemption. The end. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the next piece. Please give a like and subscribe. Thank you.